You thought you could leave, but nope. You gotta give the teacher 15 minutes before you could leave the classroom. What?
I just see that, and, every now and then, just got to remind everybody.
I forgot that existed.
I know.
I think that's why Devontae Adams left.
Yeah. This offseason, when you can't think of a video to make, I'm just going to go 4 hours of every coach and every player in the NFL, but with Mark Davis's hair. It'll be my most successful video to date.
Probably. Oh, baby.
Whoa. No, not even close.
Not even a little bit close. We
steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS.
Got a good story for you. I almost forgot we had a show this morning.
I thought you were in the doc earlier than I was, or is it just on an empty tab?
It might have just been, dude, I've got
open tab.
so many tabs open,
That's fair.
I'm
not a tab
and
guy.
Like what in the Google Docs when the other person's profile picture pops up?
Yes.
I have this weird thing where I think that person is watching me. So I see you in there. I'm like, Tom can see what I'm doing right now. And then I know you can't, but it just feels like I'll see Will in there. I'm like, Will's watching me.
That's weird, dude. I don't use Google Docs. I use the cameras I installed in your house to see you.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's not a new bidet.
Man, if that's what you want to see, power
it's
to
just
you.
for you, though. I want to be very clear. It's just for you. I just got to make sure.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. That'd be the worst thing anyone. That would be a pun. That's the next clickbait punishment for who'd have the hardest time with that? Probably Scooter.
I don't know, man. I'm vegan. I poop a lot.
Yeah. Oof.
I poop at least 2 times a day.
Yeah.
At least. And that's just the morning usually.
One's good. Sometimes you need 2. Sometimes you need 3. Eat something bad, it can be 4.
Yeah. Eat something real good, it could be 4.
Yeah.
A lot of fiber.
That's just
a lot of fiber in there. No problem, Brandon. I definitely won't snap it over. Caleb Williams said all the time. Well, definitely not.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I want to talk about Ben. We haven't talked about Ben Johnosn.
We have not.
That seems like an eternity ago already. But every morning I wake up and my first thought is, what day is it? What do I got going on today?
It's true for pause.
Today, I remember it's Wednesday. I got GPS. I was up early as I got plenty of time.
Yep.
But I posted power rankings yesterday. I posted them early, right? So I get down here in front of my desk. I'm like, oh, shit. I got all this tax stuff I need to do real quick. I got to fill out these forms. And then I'm like, okay, there's this other thing I can do. I was like, I've got so much time because I did power rankings yesterday. Yeah. So today is just get through the morning. And then I finished some stuff up. And I accidentally clicked on our GPS tab. And I was like, oh, shit, we have GPS today. So within like a 1 hour window, my brain completely forgot what day it was.
Yeah, that was
stupid.
That's happened this week. It's been
a brain foggy week.
NPR, I'm so very sorry to hear that, my friend. I hope Colorado treats you well, though. Moving back, Colorado, some good times.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're getting laid off, my first piece of advice is do not give us $100.
Yeah, that's for you, Perna, by the way. So you took that from
him. Do not give me $100.
That was Brandon Perna that you ripped it from him.
Yeah.
And flossing with
nice. Hey, I respect you going out to Pittsburgh, being the one Broncos fan there.
It's a great fan.
Parker's a lovely place. It's getting a little crowded in Parker, I'll tell you that. But good luck.
Can you go there?
Can I go where?
Have you been there before? Like, can you go to Parker?
Yeah, I'm real close to Parker.
Oh, because you can't park your truck. So I just didn't know
You
if that
son
was
of
a
a
caveat
bitch.
to
I
get
knew
in
you were
there.
setting
Yeah.
me up for something. Didn't know what.
Johnny John John!
I just didn't know if that was like a town guideline. If you went over the town boundary, they're just like, oh, no, sorry, sir. There's only parallel parking spots here. Unable to accommodate you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just asking. I don't know. I love Colorado. I've been there a bunch of times, right? I just don't know if things have changed since
Next
I've been
time
there.
you come here, I'm gonna be like, Tom, let's go out and get some dinner. There's this really cool vegan restaurant I found, and there's gonna be 4 hours of me parallel parking in different parts of the city. You're not gonna eat. You're gonna be hungry. I might not even get every parallel parking thing right, but I'm gonna earn back your respect as a man and a driver of a big truck.
Well, those are two very different things. Those are not necessarily.
No, you got to be a man to drive a big truck.
But what about parking? Parking, I feel like is a different part because you could drive it, or I could drive a truck.
Yeah,
right? It's just saying. NPR, hope things get better soon, and that's the right thing to do. 6:45. That's why I actually handwrite all my notes just so Perna can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah. I'll be taking a little shot of whiskey and he'll be like, what are you doing? I'll be like, need to calm down my nerves to parallel park this truck, Tom. Don't worry, we're not driving anywhere. I'm going to park it and won't get out. It'll be safe. But I do need some whiskey.
So what you'll do is like while we're trying to park, you'll be like, hold on just 1 second. You step out of the vehicle because you can't have an open container within, right? You step out, you just pour, do a shot, leave it on the sidewalk, and then get back in and try to park.
Whatever the legal loophole is, that's what I'll do.
Okay. No, that sounds fine.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's good. Jags are in shambles. What do you mean? Just because good old Liam from the Buccaneers went over there and he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. Met Trent Baalke one time, and that was enough for me. That was enough for me. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We got some coaching hires, of course, Ben Johnosn. We got Josh McDaniels returning home, the prodigal son to New England. Brandon Perna's favorite human being, Josh McDaniels.
I said this, and I want to say it again. Every nice thing I've ever said about Mike Vrabel, I retract, I rescind. Not the right hire for the Patriots. Bringing back Josh McDaniels, dumb move. Going to be so pedestrian with him. I get it. Some people believe Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator. I say nay.
Correct.
I say bullshitty.
Oh.
He was a good offensive coordinator with Tom Brady, and nowhere else and in no other situations was he good at that job.
With just some of the different competition. I'm combining words now.
Sorry, I just had to when you said it.
Yeah. That's Vrabel just hiring somebody he knows, he can trust, which I get, but I don't like it. I mean, maybe Drake May's that good. He'll make Josh McDaniels look like a good coordinator again. But that's a what the fuck are you doing type move to me.
It seems like
it's just such a, even if it's an okay hiring, it is so uncreative. It lacks foresight, in my opinion. You want to find the next guy.
I understand.
A hot guy. The next
I don't disagree.
Johnson.
Because again, I feel like for the Patriots, right? Like they are very big on tradition and blah, 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 blah. You had Mayo in there, and it was literally only because Bill Belichick was like, you have to do this. Like he is the next guy. They rocked him for a year. They gave him a really not so great roster. He was forced to do an impossible task. And I think that would be difficult for any head coach, let alone this is your first attempt at being a head coach, right?
Yeah.
So then you go, okay, never mind, and Kraft came out and said, like, we put him in a situation that was not viable. Great, wonderful. So then you bring in Mike Vrabel. The whole fan base knows, and it's like, okay, yeah, we got Mike Vrabel. And now it just seems like we're playing all the old tunes. And I agree with you that it might wind up being like that consistency, that familiarity. Yeah. Maybe that's what they need, but it seems like that is more for the fan base or like the people. I don't know if like that's, it seems like it's, I don't know, this is a very difficult thing to try and prove. It just, I don't know if that's the best for the players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that? Like, I agree with you. Like, you want to go out and find those guys that are going to be the next, because you're not going to be able to run, I don't think, a Tom Brady offense with your current iteration of who you have on that roster. And again, I might be very wrong and be like, hey, Vrabel and McDaniels work really, really well together and they make an efficient offense, and they won't give a crap what I think. I agree, though. It does seem like it's okay. Don't fully understand that hiring.
Yeah, it's
only for game streams.
Is Josh McDaniels the right guy to help develop Drake May? And if he is, then great. But why was he ousted in Las Vegas? His players essentially revolted against him. And this is a Josh McDaniels who, for the third time, had learned his lesson, right? He is not a leader of men. He's not a coach guys like playing for. Vrabel's kind of a hard ass too. Like, listen to him like talking with guys that like him, Taylor Lewan and Will Compton. They were never like he was a fun coach to play for. You know what I mean? Gets guys respect, but you kind of want like a balance of, okay, if your head coach is that hard ass dude, then maybe your coordinator's like where you get reprieve and where you can build like that more harmonious, nurturing relationship to develop as a quarterback in the NFL. But obviously it could work out, like you're saying.
But in terms of from the outside in, right? So like we're obviously our perspective is going to be skewed, but it's exactly what you're saying. Like, this man has gotten so many chances within the NFL and has only done well in that position of offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick with the New England Patriots, because everywhere else he's either running away from head coaching jobs or getting fired from them. I
would have preferred Vrabel going over and poaching Sean McVay's ball boy. Being like, I know you're not quite ready to be an OC, but you're in that Sean McVay sphere, so we're gonna bring you over now, and you're calling plays for Drake May. But I just bring out the balls. Don't care. You were around McVay, and it's been working.
You must have heard something. By the way, Ryan, congratulations to you and your family. Let's go.
Oh yes, very happy. Ryan. There you go.
Yeah,
enjoy.
But again, like, as a head coach, not so good. Might be the offensive coordinator that they need. Again, personally, I'm kind of like about the hiring, but that's neither here nor there. Brother, you got to pray that Nick Chubb is ready to go next year.
The difference with Nick and those other guys is Nick is coming off significant injury, and he did make a return. He got some yards under him, but that's not his first knee injury either. I just don't think he's going to ever be the Nick Chubb that we all, thought was one of the best running backs in the league.
Brandon, I'm glad, you are getting out a little bit more, trying to park some more vehicles, but hey, you're causing safety meetings.
Yeah, well,
a parking course at work. Man, I would, if that was me, I would be parking in my free time. I would be parking on the week. I would be so ashamed and appalled if I literally am taking out 2 brand new trucks.
Yeah,
that's no good.
I have never caused a car accident, so
hey, neither have I.
Yeah,
because you can't find a spot to get on the road, or like is that?
I just stay home.
I
didn't go anywhere. Stuck in this.
But accident free, baby. Accident free. Yeah. I want to save Ben Johnosn because I feel like that's going to be the meat here. Yes. So as we've been talking about, and this happened a few weeks ago. I was watching that live stream when it was Shad Khan, it was Trent Baalke, and they were talking to the reporters, and the entire chat was just clown emotes. And there was a couple like really good questions and like hard hitting questions. When you had Khan saying like, oh, yeah, they was asked if you would make a change at GM if one of the head coaching prospects said, hey, this is what. Yeah, we listened to him. Why are you hiring or keeping Trent Baalke after all that? I don't understand his track record there. I don't understand the good that he's done for the organization. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And now the Jaguars are sitting here. We're talking about other teams, right? Aaron Glenn, heavily rumored to the Jets. He's also talking to the Saints. Ben Johnosn, of course, going to the Bears. The Jaguars are this team where I'm looking at them going, okay, like who are they going to go get? Is it Robert Saleh, who I think could do a nice job there and they need a defensive guy? Maybe they go out and try to get a Mike McCarthy, but ultimately, like if your GM is thwarting you at almost every single way or is going to be bringing you down, you know what I mean? Like if it's going to make your job more difficult, I don't get it.
It's pretty simple. If your general manager has cost you the opportunity to even possibly hire the hottest head coaching candidate this cycle in Ben Johnosn, and now another, guy I think a lot of people are kind of excited about in Liam Coen, then he is not doing what his job is, and that is to help you build a team. He can't get you the best head coaching candidate. That's the biggest red flag there is. What's his weakness? Nobody wants to come coach for him.
Damn it!
Shucks.
Foiled again.
Yeah.
Level 1. That's how we rock. It's
nice.
Great comment. That's a great comment. Hey, listen, Perna's for,
Yeah. There was
Hey, by the way, huge congratulations, Brandon Perna, for hitting 700,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So, somebody said this.
Nope, I'm not done clapping.
Oh.
Nope.
Nice. They said.
Nope. Okay.
They said, I started watching you when you had 100,000 subscribers, and I didn't understand your show. Now I don't understand why you don't have 1 million subscribers. I was like,
That's it. That's
it.
The character arc, baby. That's it.
You came in, you're like, this is a little weird. Does this guy know what he's talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sometimes.
On the other end of that AAA, and as someone listen, MBS has gotten death threats. This happens, from hey, just a PSA, don't send death threats to players. It's really dumb. Don't do that. Don't be a crappy person, especially now. In terms of this, though, the opposite side of that is that Bills Mafia raised about $60,000 for a cause of his. So that's pretty dope. So shout out to Bills Mafia there for doing the good thing.
You should send, I think you should send different kinds of threats. Like, I hope your credit score takes a little bit of a hit after this, Mark Andrews. I hope the next time you go to pump your gas, the one you pull up to is out of order, buddy.
Or no, even worse. It's not the out of order. You pull up. You ever be pumping gas?
Yeah.
And it's really slow because it's really busy. And we're talking you see the individual cents go up and you're just and it takes forever. Truck drivers, they're on a whole different level. They got to be there for 45 minutes. They got to be there for an hour. My respect to them. In terms of, that's what we're hoping, though, that it takes just 8 minutes out of your day.
Hey, Mark, next time you go to the grocery store and buy yourself a fresh box of strawberries, I hope when you get home and you open that box, one strawberry hidden in the middle there covered with mold.
Oh, then it's a decision. Do you throw them all out?
Yeah. What are you going to do about that, Mark? Huh? And that's really what you should have to deal with. I think if you drop a ball like that, just a week of minor inconveniences.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. Sure. Yeah. Oh my God. I would laugh my ass off. If there was a team after all that who's wow, guys, Drake May's real good. This offense is real good. We should hire this Josh McDaniels guy.
Thank you for saying that. I thought that earlier in the show, Balls, and then I forgot. I was like, this is a point I want to make. If we were talking about Josh McDaniels getting head coaching interviews in 3 years, we are the NFL's done. It's already peaked. It is going to go downhill after that.
Four-Paws not at this current juncture because he doesn't have the experience and he doesn't have it doesn't have the results either. So I think he can go somewhere and basically be a coordinator, and kind of work his way up to another opportunity again. But like I said, he's just put in a really bad position and his inexperience also wind up costing him.
Yeah, Gerard Mayo's got to go and get he's got to go revive another defense.
Yeah.
Or revive a defense. Yeah. He didn't even revive the Patriots. He was just there when they were good. Yeah. So he's got to go and show he can take a unit and make it better.
Sure. Yeah.
And if he does that, then, with time, anybody's going to get a second look.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody.
Don't worry, we're getting there to Ben John. We're getting there bit by bit by bit. KOC.
Ooh,
Got a multi-year
The
extension?
Vikings extended their KOC, Tom.
Yes, they did.
Woo,
They
Vikings,
did.
big extension for that juicy KOC. Love it.
Please give me Buffalo, Washington. Please give me Buffalo, Washington. I'd be so happy. It'd just be something different. A rookie quarterback, the Bills.
Yeah.
The storylines are great. That's it.
I saw Benchwarmer Brand said he wished the games were reversed on Sunday. So he knows if he should be rooting for the Eagles to win because he thinks they have a better chance to beat the Chiefs if
That's
the
fair.
Chiefs go. I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
That's a lot. That's very fair. The more exciting game is the primetime game, though. I mean, it's Bills Chiefs again. You know, it's gonna be some magic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Mac Jones, the McDaniels is good as a coordinator. Like I don't disagree with that.
I disagree.
As a head coach, maybe not so much, but I think it is very uninspiring to bring him back because they're just like, oh, we knew this worked with these guys. Like, I don't know. And again, I think it's I think it's a very safe move for the New England Patriots that has a smaller chance of blowing up. And maybe they're just trying to get back to, hey, we need to just play consistent football so we're winning some games again. And I completely and totally understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it's going to move your franchise forward. You know, I think maybe like the ceiling might not be as high, but again, that's just my perspective.
Broncos offense wasn't good when he was there.
Gotta hope.
The Rams offense wasn't good when he was the coordinator there. You're saying he's had one good season as an OC outside of Brady.
Yeah.
And that's Mac Jones. And was that a good season coordinating with Mac Jones? Or was the next coordinator just bad with Mac Jones? Is Mac Jones just bad and he just kind of had a flash in the pan as I don't know. I don't know. I'm no longer willing to just say Josh McDaniels is a good coordinator. I've said that as well. He's got to prove it. And he can. I will say, yeah, I was wrong about Josh McDaniels if, we see Drake May progress and the Patriots, let's say, have like a top 10 offense next year and then a top 5 offense after that. We'll see.
The Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, they hope to re-sign him. He said that Khalil said he was coming back. So like coming back, to play football. So I think the Chargers are going to attempt to re-sign him if they get him for a good deal. I mean, he's enough of a disruptor. I think he's worth it. So it's going to be a matter of okay. Hey, Perna does. He can. Right. Well,
I can.
Besides that truck.
I know what I'm doing. This spring, I will be making a video of me parallel parking that we can.
I have some videos of you parallel parking.
Nah, not from the outside. You don't.
Attempting. Well, no, because you could see the jolt from hitting the curb from the inside, so you didn't really need the outside view there. Also, Aaron Glenn, heavily rumored to the Jets. That was floating around yesterday, and I don't think that that's a bad move. Again, they just the Jets just have to nail those hirings. Like they have to do a real good job there, and who knows what that's going to look like. But we'll see, because I know the Saints are interested in him too. Saints would be very interesting. And it is. But because Glenn left New York, we thought they were making it sound like he was going to accept the job there. He came back, you're like, oh, maybe he's not going to accept. And now we're kind of just waiting, but everybody keeps saying he's going to take that job. I think that's a good hire for the Jets. I don't know if I'm Aaron Glenn, if I want to go to the Jets though. Like, he's not really setting himself up for success there. I like, is he going to get 1 year with Rodgers and then they still got to find a quarterback? Like, what's their plan? The Raiders aren't a good option either at this point. They don't have a quarterback. The Saints kind of have a quarterback. The Jags should be the team that guys want to coach because they have the quarterback, but, then they've got Baki. And then there's the Cowboys. Aaron Glenn, maybe he's waiting for the Cowboys to say, hey,
We have a quarterback. I keep forgetting the Cowboys need a head coach, Tom.
Yep.
They've got the best situation, and they don't feel like the front runners for any of these coaches.
Nope.
Does Jerry know what he's doing?
Well,
is there any urgency there?
Well,
is he trying to I know he wanted Witten, and he wanted the next head coach to, develop Witten. Maybe you should just make Dak the head coach. First head coach and quarterback.
Or you could just be the GM, head coach, and owner.
Yeah.
Even though he's second with the GM.
And you got to worry about, if you're going to the Jets, outside of not having your quarterback, it's how much is Woody Johnson going to be meddling in what you try to do?
What do you mean, Brandon? It's worked out so well.
Yeah. I don't wish that upon Aaron Glenn. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want him to go there and then his owners fucking him over.
Yep.
Anyway.
Do you not like Tez Johnson?
And do you think the Broncos run game struggles are the scheme, the running back, or the O-line?
Well, RB isn't helping.
First of all, let me look up who Tez Johnson is. First of all, a Ducks receiver, Tez Johnson.
I love it.
So no, I don't want him as much as you do because I didn't know who he was. You got to remember, Tom and I don't really watch college football.
I look at prospects after the season's over.
We start digesting college now. Scheme for running? I think that's a fair question, actually, for the Broncos. I think you would like to see just, Bo Nix under center, handing off a little bit more, give your line the advantage they want in run blocking situations. Denver's they're going to let Javonte Williams go. I don't know if it's scheme versus the Broncos just haven't found a truly dynamic running back. We've seen a game or two from Jaleel McLaughlin. We've seen some carries from Audric Estime. Javonte Williams was probably the most consistent back, and by consistent, it's 3 yards. So I think there are a lot of fair questions there for the Broncos run game. Give us a great running back, and I think behind the Broncos offensive line, they'll excel.
Yeah. Raiders, you're another head coaching vacancy, which that's going to be real. So obviously they did not get Ben Johnston. That was starting to get heavily rumored after, in these past couple days. Ben Johnston obviously chose the Chicago Bears, which again, we are going to dive into momentarily because I cannot wait. Yeah. And maybe they are holding out for Sanders, maybe, but
Dion? Dude, I don't even think Dion would be a good head coach in the NFL. I think Dion he's perfect for college football. Assuming he can just go and be a good NFL head coach, I think you're taking a leap there.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of what he does works on the NFL level, right? And right now, what he can do is he's attracted talent. That's why he's helped revive the Buffs. What I do find funny, Tom Brady having a say in the Raiders. We all know he went hard. He got so hard for Ben Johnston. Tried to woo him. Johnson left town. Said,
Tear down.
Ooh, Tom's having to learn what rejection feels like.
Well,
Sans NFL. Welcome to the real world, Tom. Not everybody wants to coddle you anymore. You're with the Raiders. And people are like, that situation is not good. I don't care how much money you're offering me. I'm going to say no. I like it. Not for Raiders fans. They don't deserve that, but Tom Brady deserves a little rejection, I feel like.
Fair. Wilkins, you could, first of all, I hope you feel better. I had that a few years ago and it was miserable. But you kept your teeth. I think that you record yourself making a video, jumping through a table and then being like, oh my God, my teeth have fallen out. Josh Allen, please win for me on Sunday. I think that could probably do it.
Yeah, save those teeth. If the Bills lose, I think you spit your teeth out and just be like, the Bills are literally causing my teeth to fall out.
That's it. Done. Or witchcraft.
Oh, is that for Mark Andrews?
Yeah, exactly.
I hope you're always checking your phone because you think
I don't even have my phone on me. Oh my God, McDaniels would be great. All right, let's talk about the man of the hour, the one, the only, Ben Johnston. Oh man, the reactions from Ben Johnson's hiring have been glorious. Bears fans, we're here again. We did it again. Hey, this is the one. This is the guy who's going to save us. He's going to develop Caleb Williams. This is the one. Lions fans, you Judas. 2 days earlier, we were in a playoff game. We lost, where you're having Jameson Williams throw an interception. Literally, you're scheming him up when you're down 10. And now he's going to be in the division playing the Lions twice. And it's this weird, like, oh, Ben Johnston has done so much for us, but he just went to the enemy. Welcome to being a Packers fan when the Bears and the Vikings steal all our players. And we're like, well, we're going to get at them now. This is what it feels like. It sucks, right? It's not fun. They steal your coaches. They steal your coordinators. I got to watch Aaron Jones on a 14-win team sweep the freaking Packers this year. Welcome. Welcome. We had our Hall of Fame quarterback go to the Minnesota Vikings and go to the NFC Championship game. Now he's a former Vikings quarterback, and I don't think he ever played for the Packers. But oh boy, a lot of fandom is interesting times right now. What are your thoughts, one Brandon Perna?
I think it's the right move for the Bears, and I think Bears fans actually deserve to feel optimistic.
Yes.
And I think the tragedy is they gave themselves so much hope with the Caleb Williams draft pick that Bears fans are scared to be hopeful about the Ben Johnston hiring, which is probably the safer place to be. You never know. But I think if everything we believe about Ben Johnston is true, then this is a good move. I think for Caleb Williams and his future in the NFL, he's got a good chance to succeed with Ben Johnston.
Mm-hmm.
If Caleb Williams does not play well with Ben Johnston, then you have a different problem. You have and I think Caleb can. I think Caleb's going to look like one of the more improved quarterbacks next season. I don't know if next year is going to be the year it all comes together for Bears fans.
Yeah.
I think they should go into it the way Broncos fans did this season, where we were like, you know what? We just got to feel like Bo Nix is our guy.
Sure.
We think we have the head coach in Sean Payton. And the first season with Sean Payton wasn't really good. There were some, a few nice things. But I also like what Ben Johnston did and said right when he got to the Bears facility. He talked about, like, that's the place he and his wife wanted to be, where they have a family, they have their kids, like they wanted to go to Chicago. And and maybe they really wanted to go to Chicago when they offered him $13 million a year or whatever. But
they're paying him a good amount of money.
I think if that's the spot he wanted to go to, then that's usually a recipe for success. And I know you're smirking because it's the Bears, and none of us believe that they can actually uncurse themselves.
See, I don't agree with that. But continue.
Okay. And I think there's been a couple examples of quick turnarounds recently. Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers.
Sure.
They were not in the playoff race last year. They got to the playoffs. Did it work out once they got there? No, but he made a big difference.
He did.
With the Chargers.
And he had no coaching experience either.
Sean Payton took 2 years. We're in a much better spot.
No head coaching experience either for Sean Payton. Yeah.
I think Ben has experience.
As a coordinator, absolutely. A great offensive coordinator. Yeah. You know who was a really good offensive coordinator? Nathaniel Hackett. He was really good.
See, we thought, but I think there's evidence that Ben is a very good offensive coordinator.
Oh, I think he's a great offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm.
He's a very good offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chunky, get ready. Start saving your money. Start saving, Chunky Ragu.
I think here's the thing. I think for the Bears, I gotta give their ownership credit here. They went out and got the guy that everybody was talking about, right? Truly, are they screwed? No. Are they gonna have to adjust? Yes. losing only 1-0. In terms of how successful they're going to be, that is now going to be dependent on Ben Johnosn. However, the fact that they're going to potentially bring in Dennis Allen, I love that selection. He has head coaching experience. Yes, didn't really go over well as a head coach, but he is a damn good defensive coordinator, has that experience. If he assembles a roster of experienced folks, that is going to help significantly, because no joking, no trolling at all, we don't know how Ben Johnosn is as a head coach. We just don't know, right? So, like, yes, I am poking fun of, like, we don't know, and that could be bad for the Bears. But not knowing that, like, we were talking about Mike McCarthy, right? We were all laughing at that. But you know what you're getting in a head coach. He has that experience, and he's not an awful head coach.
No.
Right? He's
He's
probably
probably
limited.
one of the most unfairly criticized head coaches in the league, Mike McCarthy.
And again, like, his tenure, like, with the Packers definitely overstayed its welcome, right? And, like, they became less and less effective. Then with the Cowboys, hey, listen, they did well until they got to the playoffs, and then it didn't really work out so well. So I think you are limited. There's a ceiling there, but he can get guys to play for him. Like, he's still a good head coach. So with Ben Johnosn, it's like when you're drafting, right? You're not drafting guys for necessarily what they did in college. It's that potential of what you think they can be. Yeah. And them going out and signing Ben Johnosn is like, hey, ownership, we're doing everything we possibly can to make this team good. So I got to give them some credit here. And I'm usually very critical about the McCaskies. They deserve some credit here because they went out, they spent big money to go get the top free agent in terms of head coaching candidates. And now it's a matter of, let's see if this thing is going to work.
Yeah, I think the thing that will hold Ben Johnosn back is Ryan Poles. Oh. We don't know, who. Oh, it's his Bo's adopted brother.
Oh,
huh?
Brother from another mother. Okay.
So we're just gonna kick Troy Franklin out of town.
Sorry. You had that one touchdown in the playoffs. Get out. Get out.
Tez is coming in. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Poles. We don't know. Jury's out on Poles, and he's done some good things in Chicago, and there's been other issues. I think it's about identifying.
We are alive.
Draft talent, getting the right offensive line in front of Caleb Williams, teaching Caleb Williams how to mitigate sacks, that sort of stuff, and I think it'll come along. But if Johnosn and Poles develop like a harmonious relationship, and Johnosn can take some of the things he learned from how the Lions built their team and find a scout or two that he liked over there, like those are the types of pieces that we don't talk about that I think
make a huge difference.
Really make difference in how you build your team. But again, I think more than most teams, a lot of people will bet against it because it's the Bears. But it feels like they did the right thing. And I think
they did.
We have criticized them for drafting their quarterback and then firing the coach, drafting a quarterback, then firing the coach. And that's a problem unless the second coach you hire is the right guy. And if Ben Johnosn is not the right guy for the Bears, they will never figure out success.
Legitimately,
right guy for this job, coach that has ever fallen into their lap.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't work out, they're there's no explaining it. You are cursed. Not only should you sell the team, you should move to a different city, Albuquerque, the Albuquerque Rattlesnakes, whatever you want to be. Get the fuck out of Chicago because you're not going to be able to save yourselves.
It's interesting because I agree with you. Then that was the last line I had in the reaction video, because Bears fans, they've had this promise. Justin Fields was like because Trubisky, when they trade up for Trubisky, there's this kind of okay, like there wasn't this 100%. Oh, this is gonna work out. This is gonna be great. And guess what? It didn't. Yes, they go to the wild card round, then it's a double doink, and then they don't get back there. Matt Nagy's coach of the year, but then they go and trade up for Fields. And that was like oh man, like he is the Messiah. Like he is going to come and save our franchise. And then they went through it and it didn't really happen. But then they had that 1 year where like, oh, okay, no, actually this works out. We're going to trade with the Panthers. Justin Fields is our guy. It did not work out.
Yeah.
So they keep on getting their hope up and hope up and hope up. And then it was this year of like, okay, we got Caleb Williams, but we don't know about Eberflus. Like the defense got a little bit better.
Sure.
Then he gets fired. So I agree with you because at some point, there's only so many times that you can dangle the carrot and go, no, this is the time where it's going to work out. And that's why I'm actually giving credit to the McCaskies here because they went out and spent the money on the guy that almost everyone agreed was the top head coaching candidate. So now it's just about, is Ben Johnosn that guy?
Yeah.
Can he do that in Chicago? And yes, Ryan Poles, you don't know. We're going to see if he's going to wind up being a lame duck GM, and they wind up firing a GM again. But
I think on game day, calling plays, Ben Johnosn, he's going to be fine. And that's a hard thing for some head coaches to adapt to or, to navigate. But that part he can do. And we have evidence that once he started calling plays in Detroit, Jared Goff got better and their offensive production got significantly better, right? Like we've seen that. Versus Matt Nagy where, he coached Patrick Mahomes under Andy Reid. So what?
Yeah.
I could be the Chiefs offensive coordinator, right? Like you got Andy Reid there and Patrick Mahomes. I'll sit on the sideline. I'll suggest some plays and Mahomes going to make it work. Andy Reid's going to be like, no, let's do this instead. So I think like at least Ben Johnosn has the evidence of offensive success. And now there's incredible talent on that offense. There's an incredible offensive line.
Agreed.
But he helped build that and he helped turn Jared Goff into a consistently very good quarterback.
Yeah.
The other key piece for the Lions is their offensive line coach.
Hank
Frawley? Is it Frawley? Fraley? He's interviewing for the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator position. Maybe that's a guy they could get over to Chicago. Maybe Ben Johnosn could interview him as his offensive coordinator, help develop and build the offensive line for Chicago. I know Lions fans don't want to lose him. So Hank Fraley. Okay, thank you. Burn.
Chris, I could see a DJ. I'll wind up doing a video about this, but like I could see maybe a DJ Reed because they're going to have a need a corner, especially if Jair's not coming back. That or a pass rusher. I don't think that they're going to go out and spend like premium money on a wide receiver. Personally, I know T. Higgins' name's always floated around, but again, the line that I've been kind of repeating is that if you are worried about Christian Watson's health, you're going to be worried about T. Higgins as well. And like T. Higgins is an all around very, very good wide receiver. But like, are you willing to take a roll of the dice on that? And I don't know. So, the other thing that I want to talk about, yes, Lions fans being angry, is this talk about, hey, maybe we shouldn't let coaches interview during the playoffs, right? Cliff Kingsbury, he's like rejected some interviews until after the postseason. Meanwhile, Ben Johnosn, Aaron Glenn, they're out there taking interviews, and one of those teams lost and one of the others didn't on Saturday. I really am not leaning into that pretty hard because I don't think that's making a huge difference. Because let's put it this way, if Ben Johnosn and or Aaron Glenn won a Super Bowl this year, oh buddy, that price of their contract is going up and up and up. Right. So even if we're just doing it for selfish reasons, I'm not going to really take too much stock in that. But as a Lions fan, I could understand why people would be upset. Because it's like, man, that sucks, especially when the coach that you lost against, right, is not taking other interview jobs and yours did. And unfortunately, Lions fans, like, this is what comes with the price of winning, right? Like now they're going to start poaching coordinators. They're going to start poaching, different coaches, like offensive line coaches. And that unfortunately, like, is just the reality. Hell, Jeff Hafley was the Packers defensive coordinator 1 year. 1 year. He just got pulled up from college. 1 year. He got pulled up from the Packers. And now the Jets were interviewing him as a head coaching candidate. Jeff Hafley's going to stay. Thank God. But yeah, man, like once you start being a damn good squad, other teams are going to come run.
Yeah.
We'll see, Base. We'll see.
I think their three-peat run has more to do with Spags than Nagy, to be honest. But that's why I want him to leave.
Today, Ethan, I spent 7 hours writing it yesterday. It's coming out later tonight. I got to.
And what, Kingsbury's waiting to take any interviews until their season is done? I thought he said he wasn't going to take a job this year, but then I read like he'll take interviews, but not till the Commanders are done, right? I think coaches should have to interview for their vacancies at halftime of whatever playoff game they're playing in. Let's put them under pressure. Maybe every team shouldn't be fucking firing their head coaches every offseason where we got 5, 6, 7, 8 vacancies to fill.
Well, Brandon, you bring up a great point.
You got to be the first 3. After 3 teams do it, no more. No more. You stuck with whoever you hate.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the Jags might be better bringing back Doug Peterson than what they're going to be getting in this cycle. Anyway, what were you going to say?
No, I mean, like, but that's the thing too. How long of a leash are you willing to give Ben Johnosn?
Oh, long.
Like, it's at least 3 years.
Yes.
At least 3 years, 3 seasons, because you got to figure out if Poles is the guy there. You got to develop that offensive line. You got to see how that offense is going to, like, it's at minimum 3 years.
Yeah.
Unless things like go catastrophic, because you are 100% correct. We are in this kind of like culture society where it's like, hey, if this is not working right this second, gone.
Yeah. Give him time. Let him marinate. Let Ben Johnosn marinate. And I think if Dennis Allen does come over, like, he's inheriting a very solid defense. Like, even as the Bears were a disaster, you kept having a little bit of hope. You're like, the defense can keep a lot of these games close. We just, oh God, there's 36 minutes left in this game, and I'm already thinking about how we're going to mismanage the game clock.
So, like, I actually really like if Dennis Allen comes to, if I was a Bears fan, like Dennis Allen coming to be your defensive coordinator, I'm a fan of that. He has the experience. He's a good coordinator. So I'm all about that. All about that.
Would Kingsbury go to the Cowboys? I wouldn't. I would stay with Jaden. Yeah, I'd do another year of OCing with Jaden Daniels if I'm Kingsbury, because I think if he stays there, and I think Jaden's going to be good again, I think he will be the number 1 candidate in 2026 if Kingsbury stays put.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if the opportunity cost, and talking about the amount, if they are able to go to the Super Bowl this year, holy crap, man. But if you're able to develop and like get to a point where you are a consistently good team and you built that roster up, oh yeah, you're going to have every single position at your disposal. Like, I want that one. I want that one.
If I'm a rookie quarterback, if I'm a quarterback heading into this draft, okay, I am telling my agent to get me on the phone with Jaden Daniels. And I am asking Jaden what he does on a day-to-day basis to prepare for football games. Because we all know, like, he's doing the VR shit every morning or whatever. Like, figure out what Jaden's doing because of the way he's playing as a rookie, and you mimic that routine to a T to get yourself ready to play in the National Football League. I think he's come in outside of just being like cool under pressure. I think he's talked a lot about like those things he does to help him prepare. And I think you have to embrace that type of work ethic and preparation. And if you go back to last year, like, do you remember like the bullshit about like Jaden Daniels not being the best leader of that QB class? Like, were people giving him shit because, what was it? He didn't he put like his logo or something on the inside of his jacket.
I vaguely remember what you are talking about.
What was that shit about like not crediting his teammates enough or something? Like, and that happens every year. Like, people try and pick apart whoever's coming out of the draft, especially the quarterbacks. But I remember those narratives, like, he wasn't the best leader or the best teammate or so. And it was for completely stupid stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, dude, look at what happened with CJ Stroud, right? Like, oh my God, the stupid ass testing. It's like, oh, look at these test scores. Yeah. So apparently it is rumored again an hour ago that it's heavily rumored that Aaron Glenn is going to be taking the Jets head coaching position. So again, this has been there's been a lot of smoke these past couple of days about if that's going to happen. It seems like where that's going to happen.
Rest in peace, Aaron Glenn.
I like to think he's going to do an okay job there, but it's
I like to
you said
think
it's
too,
GM,
dog.
it's ownership. Yeah, I don't know.
When we know the top problem is ownership, you're at a disadvantage.
Correct.
Now you can get around that if you've got a quarterback, and they don't.
Saints, man, I don't know.
I don't know.
Saints is a tough spot. Saints is a tough spot. Raiders a little bit of a tough spot.
Terrell Williams joining Mike Vrabel in Tennessee in New England to be the defensive coordinator.
We will see. We'll see.
So the Lions are
they're losing everybody.
They're losing their defensive line coach. That's Adam Schefter put that out. Oh, that was at 5:56 a.m. So that's old news.
That's old news. Listen, if you want to talk about Coach of the Year, which I think KOC is going to wind up winning, you want to talk about Dan Campbell being in that conversation, we're going to see how good of a head coach Dan Campbell is next year. And I think he's already a very good head coach. But we're going to see if he can, because dude, you gotta get a new staff, right? Can you go and with the talent that you have, replicate the same kind of success? I think they can. I think that but it's going to be more competitive. The division gets better just about every year. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. Bro, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know where you begin. The Saints, Raiders, and Jaguars, interesting spots. Very, very interesting spots.
At least the Saints, Derek Carr will come back. And I'm not saying he's the answer, but you can win football games with Derek Carr. Not 13 games, but you can win 9 or 10.
Sure.
And that's not, do you want that?
They got good pieces, but holy crap, did they take a nosedive? Oh man, their defense was one of the most disappointing things about this past NFL season.
Yeah.
Of course, you can talk about the offense and not being as efficient as you wanted to until the cows come home. But that defense, and the reason why I was I think the Jets are going to be really good this year is because even if that defense stayed the same, they were able to win football games. It did not stay the same. It got worse. So
yeah, it depends on who they add, who they draft. I hope Aaron Glenn works there. I'm rooting for Aaron Glenn.
Sure.
I just don't like the situation.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
And if he's got to manage Aaron Rodgers next year, Rodgers better be amazing.
Again, and I don't think keeping Aaron Rodgers for a year is the worst thing that you could possibly do. But I don't know if he's going to agree to that. Who knows if he's going to play? There's so much up in the air there. And then I just talked about it's going to depend on the GM.
Yeah. Is Robert Saleh the front runner now for the Jacksonville job?
I think
I know the Niners want him back as a defensive coordinator. Nobody's willing to consider the Jags job, but maybe Robert Saleh is. Maybe Robert's like, Trent Baalke? I can handle that, dude. I was with Woody for four years.
I have said this.
I'll take the Baalke job.
Jaguars fans, I'll run a campaign to be a head coaching candidate, right, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You bring me in. As soon as I get hired, I'm going to say fire Trent Baalke. As soon as he's fired, I will then resign. Okay? So then you could go out and get a real head coach that knows what they're doing. But I will do this favor to Jacksonville.
There you go.
Paul's always been kind to me. So I will do you this favor.
All
right? We'll get this done. So Grossi for Jaguars coach. Just get it going. And we'll take care of things bit by bit.
Jag should call Tom Coughlin up, see what he's doing.
I don't know what he's got going on.
You want to come back?
Perna, what do you got coming out today, brother?
I don't know. Power rankings went up yesterday, so if you haven't watched Power Rankings yet, go check
I didn't realize
that out.
Yesterday. I would have put it in the rundown. I didn't realize he put him out.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I forgot. I almost forgot we were doing a show, or I would have had that ready to go.
Today's scripted is coming out. I apologize that it has not come out sooner. I legit was writing from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock last night, nonstop. It's my longest script that I've ever done for scripted. So as soon as it's done, I'm filming predictions, and then I'm filming all day and then editing. So I'm hoping it comes out late tonight. It might come out at 1 o'clock in the morning, but I ain't gonna stop till it's done. So It will be coming on out.
Don't stop till you get enough.
It will be coming out. So that's it. Hey, there you go. But folks, appreciate the hell out of you. We will be back on Friday. Hold on real quick. I'm just glad that I don't have to go through this alone. Lions fans are now going through the exact same thing that Packers fans are healing. Oh, is Jared Goff the guy? Is Jordan Love the guy? I believe yes in both instances.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very long offseason. It's going to be a very long offseason.
I like the quarterback who won 15 games. I think he can win you 12 games next year. He's got talent.
But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you reached your destination.
That's beautiful.